Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about TV shows, music, and I forgot the third thing. What is the third thing?
TV shows, music, and movies. The thing that rhymes with music.
Movies and music does not rhyme. Okay? Duh.
Uh,
Ah.
that's up for debate. I don't know about that one, Shanique.
Alright, this is going to be a very interesting intro because we're doing this one take.
One take.
But yes, we also do movies as well, and we also will probably eventually do documentaries and stuff. I was actually thinking about for Black History Month, we should do I Am Not Your Negro, which is about James Baldwin, but future
Okay,
podcast. Future
that's an
podcast.
option. I mean, they already got Black Panther coming, so that's an option.
Yes, Black History Month, black movies, all through, black artists,
I'm okay
black,
with that.
black on
Bring
black
it.
on black. No. Alright. So this podcast, we're actually gonna do Tamar Braxton's new album, Bluebird of Happiness. Now, here's the thing. I don't know why it's called that. I didn't get it at all from any of these songs. Michael, why is the title the title?
Shanique, you are asking the wrong person because I was listening close for some context too, and I never found it, and I was like, okay, sure, we'll go with that, I guess.
Maybe she's trying to
But
be
yeah,
artsy? I don't know.
it's something like Blue Chip 7000. We never really figured out the context there either. And I was like, all right, sure. We'll just go whatever the artist wants. I'm not here to argue.
True statement. Alright. So, I'm gonna give my overall grade for this album. I give it a strong, almost A minus, but it's gonna be a B plus for me. One, this album vocally was probably the best I've heard in a long time from any type of singer, female wise at least. Because so far, the best male singer, at least I think we've heard this year, has been, what's his name?
Rag and Bone.
Yes, Rag and Bone Man. He's been the best male singer we've heard this year, at least in my opinion. Female singer, definitely Tamar Braxton. She was really good. A lot of good vocals, a lot of emotional songs. There wasn't any like stupid, trashy songs, except maybe one or two. But I can't complain about any of the singing she actually did on this record. She was really
Hmm.
good, and I have to say, the only reason why I didn't give it an A is because some songs I like more than others, and I thought that maybe she could have did things a little bit better. What did you
Okay.
grade this album?
I actually give it a B plus as well, to be honest, for similar reasons. One, it's a good R&B album. Actually, like takes you back into like let's say, 'cause, like just a while ago you mentioned like there not being any like super trashy songs on it. I didn't really find anything trashy on it. Like maybe a couple things here and there, but especially like My Man, I believe. It's not it's trashy, but not about her. It's like your man and his mistress is what's trashy. But it's good R&B. I definitely didn't mind that. Everything was pretty cool with me. Just like nothing was the formula was the same. I didn't mind that either, to be honest. But yeah, it was cool. It's just a really good album. Everything that was done well. Nothing exceptionally well. Everything was just like at the baseline where it belonged, and I was cool with that.
Okay, so let's start with our top three.
Hmm.
Now, man, I realize I have two songs. Which one did I like more? Okay, I'm gonna go with Pick Me Up as my number three.
Okay.
It has an old school 90s vibe. It's very upbeat. It's catchy. I find the, song kind of funny because she's basically saying, like, oh, you're just like vodka, Remy, like liquor in my system. I need to pick me up. Like, you're comparing your man to liquor. But I get the
Yeah.
point. I get it what she's saying, and I didn't really catch it the first time. I'm like, why is she naming all these liquors? And then I like kind of caught up to what it was, and I was like, okay, but I still miss one. I'm like, pick me up. I'm still vibing with this song. I can get over that. I think maybe Chris Brown Liquor was like that too. I don't know. I didn't particularly like this one, but I did like Tamar's, and I love the old school '90s upbeat feel of it. So definitely. What about you?
That that was cool. I liked Pick Me Up. I thought it was the closest thing to pop you were gonna get for this album, which is pretty good considering the somberness and like the strength of a lot of the passion in the songs. It was cool to see like this mixing everything up, and I feel like his placement was pretty well, pretty done pretty well as well. Like towards the end, but not really the end. It was pretty cool. I think we got what 2 songs from the end, I believe. Whatever it was, doesn't matter. Location was pretty good. I liked it. It came on good after I think I heard what's the name, My Man as well. Now I keep going back to My Man, but yeah, it came after that song, and I was like, yeah, after a song like that, you need to pick me up. So
I actually needed a drink in that song.
yes, I was like, I don't
That
know if
man
that
was
was
not
on
a pick me up.
purpose. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a bring you down, but it's whatever though. I thought the placement was very cool because it came after one of the most like down songs, and I was like, ouch, ouch, everything hurts, ouch. And then this song actually did just that. It picked me up, and I was okay with that.
Okay. What's your number three then?
My number 3 is "The Makings of You." I'm forgetting the name that this song was sampled off of, but I know it was a big deal.
It
And I
was the it was sampled off of Monica's album, The Makings of Me. And she took part of I think Roses, I think the song is. I love the song, so I knew what song it was sampled off immediately. A Dozen Roses. She
see,
sampled that Monica song and that
I
album.
I had one of those things where like the bells were ringing in my head so freaking loud. It was like going off an alert. Like, Michael, we know this song. We've heard it like probably dozens of times. And for whatever reason, could I not freaking get it off the tip of
Makings
my
of
tongue?
you.
And it was just there. It's a really good song to do a sample of. And I think I don't know if anyone wants to do it really well and show that it can be done really well. It was the makings of you, which is like a good song with her singing, a good song with like her own little mix and twist on it. Not that it's not a remix, but it's definitely like a good like just a good adaptation of what she can do with the song. 'Cause I feel like both those voices work really well together, and that's what my number 3 is at.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna give my opinion on Makings of You. Good vocals. I it sampled Monica, so I knew what it was. I was like, oh man, that's that Monica album, which was Beast Mode. Um, those high notes that she hit during the song was really amazing. Cause my voice would have been cracking all day, just cracking if I tried to hit that. This is not a karaoke song unless you can sing. Anyway,
I
and
agree.
it had a good build up. Like it was really low, and then it went up into the song, and then it never like went down. So
Hmm.
I love that about it as well. And so my number two actually is the one and only My Man. And
Okay.
it was the first song I heard off this album. I wasn't sure was it going to be a single or actually going to be the album. I'm really glad it was an album. It's very passionate. I put in the song, the woman in the song's a heifer. Just like she calls her in the song.
I remember thinking the same thing back when we did SZA's album. Something similar had happened to one of the songs, and I'm like, I'm starting to see a really dark pattern here, and I don't like it.
She's like, "My man, you with my kid, woo, heifer," and like that's what she said in
Right,
the song, and
right.
like it was very passionate, and like the song's about how what happened with her father, because her father, I think it was about like her mom's friend. Don't quote me on this. The Tamartians, don't come after me. I'm not that big a fan of Tamar.
Hey,
Um,
Martians. Interesting.
but it's about her father's affair. I hope it's not her actual marriage to Vince because side eye to Vince because he ain't really all that cute.
Hmm.
But that's not the point to this podcast. So it was really great. It had a lot of passion, and it was probably even though on this album it's not really saying much because every song was vocally amazing. Her strongest vocals on this album, one at least the top five strongest vocal songs on this album for me. And even though I'm listening to it and I'm hating the woman she's talking about, like I don't even know her, but I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
right,
you such a bitch though.
right. We know enough about you. Look, we know enough about you.
Exactly. It's like first off, this is a tangent, but like, why you pretending to be my friend, but screwing my man, and then watching my kids? You know how much balls that takes? Son,
Right.
disrespectful. Ah, it reminds me of that Trey Songz song he had called Disrespectful, where he was like he was like giving his mistress his girl's clothes, and then she was doing the same thing with him, like, oh, you can wear my man's robe and stuff, and I'm like, what? Just
Mm-hmm.
wrong. You can't come back from
Mm-hmm.
these things. I'm not forgiving you at all. But it was very good. It's not upbeat at all. It makes you either angry or sad, depending on
It
how you feel about the
it
situation.
really ain't. Yeah.
What about you? What do you think of My Man? Unless My Man's on your list.
My man was interesting to me because I was like, It's weird that the song stood out to me so much in this album, and then until you told me just a while ago, like I didn't know it was a single because I just came in here blind. I have no idea it was a single, no idea it was straight to album. But yeah, I was like, this song, it's only like a handful of songs on the album that were like, had a mark on Spotify saying that it was explicit, and I was like, really? Why would Timor have one of the songs that's explicit? I went through the song and I was like, there's a story to be told here, and she told it, and she did it really well, really good singing on like you said, top probably three for me singing wise on this album, and boy, I was just really drawn in by the story because a lot of the time I just get sucked in by someone's voice so much that I admit that I miss the context of what they're saying. This one is like I was there, I got pulled into the story, and I was like, who is like Shini says this heifer because she got some splaining to do.
There's no
She
explaining. She took the man.
Hey, apparently I wasn't okay with that, but hey, listen, man,
There's no happy ending in My Man at all.
it really ain't, really ain't.
Okay, what's your
But
number? Unless you have more, what's your number
no,
two?
no, number two, give me a second here. Number two, I want to go with the intro. Actually, My Forever. I
Ah,
feel, I feel like this song was like right below Pick Me Up in terms of pace wise, like like tempo and pace. Because it's like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like it's very R&B, but like us at the same time, it's like some elements pop in there at the same time. Because I feel like it moved quick enough to keep me thinking that dang, this is trying to go into two different dimensions here, and I was okay with that. And I me, sucker for intros. I'm gonna talk about my outro later, but that's okay. But the intro was done pretty well by Tamar. It gave me a good bar to use for the rest of the album that the rest of the album never really strayed away from, and I thought that was pretty awesome.
okay. So I'll talk about My Forever because My Forever is not in my top three. So good vocals. Sound like a very like classic like R&B song. I love the chorus, and then when the song ended, I was like, man, what a rest. Like I wanted more.
Hmm.
It didn't feel
Hmm.
incomplete. It just left me wanting more, which is what you want a song to do. You want
Yeah,
a song to feel like you don't want it to end. You know, and that's how I felt about it. It was very good. It was a good way to start off the album. This is one of the more happier songs on the album, but still very good ballad by her. Good job,
true
Tamar.
story. Hmm.
Drumroll, my number one. Which you know what? I always guess your number one. What do you think my number one is?
You're number one. Give me a second here. I wanna say it's not My Man. So what would it be? Would it? That's it's a lot of good. Like it's only 11 songs on this album, but a lot of them were really good. This is all top quality stuff. Blind.
Yes.
Okay.
I,
I chose my honorable mention. I didn't want to give away my number one, but yeah, that's pretty good though. I like that song.
all right. So I chose Blind, obviously. Good job, Michael. And it
Hey.
caught my attention because it's inspired by Etta James. I'd rather go blind. So I automatically caught my attention from there. I like that she harmonized with herself. Like she sang the low part and the high part of the song, which is really good. And she kept the harmonies all through the thing. And it was very like to me this song is the best vocals she has on the entire album. I
Okay.
and Again, that's not saying much because there was no bad singing on this album. There was not a time I was like, you sound flat. I'm like, certain R&B artists' songs, but we're not gonna go there. And she, her vocals like left me speechless, and then I was into it. It's one of the longer songs, but it didn't feel long.
Hmm.
That's what I can't stand. I can't stand if you have a 5 minute, 6 minute song, and I'm like, yo, when is this song over? I was
Right.
still into the song from start to end. There was no point where I was like, stop singing, Tamar. Every part I was like, keep singing. I really love this song. And I know it's like a sort of remix on an old classic, but I do like it. I don't know if hardcore Etta James fans will like it, but I personally like the song. And again, I'm also like the, cover of I'd Rather Go Blind by Beyonce as well. That's really good too. But overall, to me, this was the best vocally on the song. It's probably one of the more challenging songs because once it gets up there, it never goes back down. You got to be holding them notes all throughout the entire song, and Shanique will not be able to do that. And I like that it's a twist on an old classic. What do you have to say about Blind since it's your honorable mention?
Blind was cool, and you actually just gave me a lot to think about because I did not realize certain things about it now. I didn't know it was a cover of literally anything. Um, I thought that this was one of the more somber ones that, like, other than My Man, this is probably one of the slower paced ones, but it's also one of the ones where like, she showed off her voice the most. And the lyrics were pretty deep. It's like, yo, I'd rather have this I'd rather like lose my sight than have have this other loss in my life. And I'm like, oh, this is something else. And usually like somber songs like go over my head a lot, especially when they like slow all the way down, like unless there's something in there drawing me into it, like My Man did, or that like Blind did. Then it's like my brain is just like, okay, now you're just showing off your voice. I know you have a good voice, but what else is there for the song? And there was a healthy balance with this one, and I'm plenty okay with that.
Yeah, and like I also want to say one thing. Funny enough, the slower songs made me love this album more than her upbeat songs, and I'm usually opposite with R&B. Like I like
Hmm.
to be like a little more up, like in the middle. I don't like
Hmm.
all the way ballads like this, but her ballads made me love the album more than anything. So that's a first for me for an R&B album. Except like Lauryn Hill, but that's different. She didn't really do like ballads. She was more like in the middle. But yeah, definitely the slower songs really, for me, made me enjoy this album more.
Okay, I can definitely see that for real.
So what's your number one? Actually, let me guess.
Yeah,
Because
you're wrong. I know exactly what you're gonna say, and you're actually wrong. But go ahead.
I was gonna say Heart in My Hands.
No, but that was actually a really good guess.
The only other one I could think of maybe is Run Run. Maybe.
I was
Still
trying to
wrong.
psych you out. I was trying to psych you out, and I was hoping that would be your first guess, but it's actually my favorite one.
What, Run Run?
Yeah, I was trying to,
Second
I
choice.
was trying to, I was trying to psych you out. 'Cause I'm like, she's gonna pick the one with the reggae in it. I know it.
I was trying to, like, what's funny? I was like, I didn't particularly like that one. Run, 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 bum, 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 bum. I didn't really, I liked it. It was okay. And I was like, I put reggae flow on there. But I was like, let me give Michael the benefit of the doubt.
No, you put too much faith in me, man.
I did apparently. Stereotypical Caribbean man.
Yes, man. That represent.
Alright,
Tamar
well,
representing.
talk
Shoot.
about Run Run then.
Run Run was dope. I do like the what's her name? I think her name's like something like Aunt Nancy or something like that. Who she did the song Bum 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 Bum. And I think like Jesus, this might be one of the most, other than Bob Marley, probably one of the most like covered reggae songs or even sampled reggae songs, should I say actually, that I've ever seen. Cause I think
Rum, ba, ba,
Ka-
bum, 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 bum. Sorry.
Kanye done it in one of his songs. I'm forgetting what song it was too. I'm pretty sure it was on Jesus, and it's been done a couple other places, but man, it was pretty cool. I like what Tamar did with it. She slowed the song down from what it really is, and it's pretty cool because one of the genres I never heard it get mixed with was R&B so far, and that's what drew me into it so much. And I was like, oh, R&B and this reggae thing is actually working here. and like she didn't alter the way Nancy was on her end. Like she just sort of worked with the beat with her song, and I'm like, this is pretty dope. It's a very interesting mix. It's very unique. I don't really see that very often, or like I just said at all, because reggae and R&B kind of few and far between for people who are brave enough to try and mix them both, especially like if you're outside of reggae in the first place. But yeah, it was pretty cool. The song was pretty good. I liked it. It drew me in immediately. I was like, hey, Shanique's gonna know what my number one is, but I don't care. This is my favorite one, and that's where I'm at on run one. To be honest, yo.
Okay. Now, like, I like the reggae aspect of it, but it's a decent song. It's just not my favorite. Because, again, like I said, the slower songs pull me in more. So that's why I got it lower down. But I feel you. It's a really good, and it's really catchy.
Yeah.
But, so,
Beat 'em. Anyways, moving on.
oh, I thought you was giving a performance. I was going to let you sing.
Ah, man.
We're not ready. We're not ready.
One second. Hello. I apologize. Resume.
Okay. After a short break. No.
Mm-hmm.
So, next song is Wanna Love You. Oh. Yeah, I'll tell you after the podcast. But next song is Wanna Love You Boy. I thought it was catchy. And I like that she quoted like that Fantasia song. I think it's what Free Yourself. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. And she
Mm-hmm.
said that lyric in the song, and it's basically like saying, "Hey, if you don't love me, someone else will." And but the only issue I had with this song is I felt the beat was too busy. A lot of times during the song, I was focused on the beat and wondering like where is it going more than our vocals. I think if they would have just sometimes it was switching, and I was like, what's happening with this beat? The vocal was fine, but I just felt distracted from it. And then also there wasn't enough lyrics. Most of the song was "Wanna love you, boy, wanna love you, boy." Like that was most of the song. There was not a lot of verses for me, so that's why I ranked it lower. What did you think of "Wanna Love You, Boy"?
Actually, that complaint was actually the only complaint I had. Not so much the business of the beat, but the repetitiveness of saying "Wanna Love You, Boy." Come like I really don't find that problem inside of like R&B songs. So it's kind of weird to find that problem here. So I was like, yeah, I like the song. In fact, I only thought the song was kind of like all right. Like I wasn't like blown away by anything in particular with the song, but it didn't do anything wrong necessarily other than that. And it's only a minor annoyance to me. Like I still think it's a good song. But yeah, "I Love You Boy" pretty dope though. I kind of like it. I dig it.
Next song, "Hold Up," featuring Yo Gotti. Now let me talk about Yo Gotti's feature. He
Yeah,
said like 5 words and then was never in
yeah,
the song again. So
yeah.
can it count as a feature? I don't know. Maybe it saved the song because I don't really like Yo Gotti's raps like 90% of the time. But it was catchy, and after he came on, it was lit. He was on the beginning, and there was nothing else. You could have cut him off and never missed a damn thing in the song. So I didn't really see the point of having him. Like, why did you pay him to be on your record if you weren't really gonna use him? But other than that, I actually thought it was catchy. I thought it was something you can dance to. I like the upbeativeness. Like besides this and Pick Me Up were the only like upbeat songs I really, really enjoyed on this song. On this album, I mean. And so I thought Hold Up was fine. I just didn't see the point of the feature if you didn't really use it.
I was right there too. Like I liked Hold Up not because I got it. Because it's one of them things
He
where it's
was
like I saw the
barely there,
it's,
so
it's one of them things where I saw the name there and I'm like that's an interesting combination of things like Yo Gotti and Tamar Braxton. Okay, maybe it's like a little experimentation thing. I'll give it a chance. Went in there with an open mind. I like the song, but not because of Yo Gotti. Like Yo Gotti, sure he was there. Like it's one of them things. I don't know. Like I can't even argue with the fact that he did something bad. Just one, he wasn't there, and two, like his verse was just alright.
it wasn't even a verse though. It was like a sentence. It wasn't a full 16 bars.
I mean, yeah, I get that too, but like I don't know. To me, it was just literally. I feel like it's just one of the things where it's like, oh, he's my friend, so I'm gonna put him on this track. And I think, and what is he like the only feature on the album as well?
I believe so. Yeah, He could have.
So it's weird that he got that spot. And like, I'm not the biggest on Yo Gotti, so take this with a pinch of salt. I'm not the biggest of Yo Gotti fan, but like, I feel like there are other places that I do believe, even as a guy who is not one of his like biggest fans, where he can fit in better in other songs and in this case other albums. Because right here, I'm pretty sure we're listening to this song for Tamar's part, because Tamar's part was pretty dope. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't, I don't know why they reached in this hip hop realm when it didn't really like hold any value to the song. It's kind of weird for me.
Well, like okay, like R&B and hip hop has been mixing for a while, and like she's done this on her other albums too, where she'll like have a feature. More than this, like his feature was like really really small, but she would have like some type of feature or use a hip hop beat, like her song "The One." She used Biggie Small "Juicy." She used the beat from
Mm.
that, which is really a sample of another song called "Juicy," but I digress. That's what it's famous for. And so, at least for our generation, you ask my mom, it's famous for that original like disco hit, "Juicy." Same title too. Um, so I don't really mind. I actually expect it. Any hip hop, any R&B artist, I expect you to eventually mix with hip hop. It's very rare that they don't. It's very rare that they don't anymore.
I mean, it's not even like I'm saying don't do it. I'm just saying do it better. That's where I'm coming from with this.
I
I
don't
just didn't
like.
see I just didn't see Yo Gotti adding value to it. I'm not saying hip hop didn't add value. I'm saying Yo Gotti didn't add value. Because like you said, one, the verse was small. The size of the verse didn't really bother me at this point. But it's just the fact that what the quality of it was just
Well,
if you're
I
gonna use it better. That's all I gotta say.
yeah, like my thing is, if you were gonna use a rapper, give him more time because
That too.
like he did not get enough time. He kind of was an intro and then dipped. But
Yeah.
they must have had to pay him to still be a feature because that was not. If you had to pay him, you had to give me more than that. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Next song, "Heart in My Hands," which is funny because before "Blind," I put that this was the best ballad on the actual album.
Hmm.
And very good vocals, and it was the first song, in my opinion, that really showed her vocal range because she kept going low and high, and she sang in almost every register on this record, and so I liked it actually. What about you? What do you think of "Heart in My Hands"?
Heart of Mine was pretty cool because it I was conflicted because I didn't know like which song I can really say was like the best song that her singing was featured on. 'Cause I feel like this is one of them. I keep going back and forth between what I really think it was and was not. Because My Man was pretty good. Heart Man is pretty good. The other one I liked. Let me see here real quick. The Makings of You also really dang good.
I thought
And
"Blind"
even
was good too.
Blind was sorry. There you go. Blind was also good. And I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but How I Feel also really good. And I was like, dang man, this is. But I feel like this is one of the ones I keep coming back to the most. Next to Blind and My Man. I think those are like my top three as far as like the her vocals, and that says a lot because I don't really have any problem in particular with any one song on this album outside of maybe Hold Up. But like that's for something very minor. At that point, I'm pretty much just saying it wasn't even Tamar's fault. So like outside this, it's kind of like it's a good position to be in. Like when you can't say which song you sound best on, especially as someone who's like listening to her album, like dang, she sounds good on all this shit. So yeah, I mean, good job on that because this is definitely one of the ones that I have top picked for like her best singing.
Yeah. Next song, "How I Feel." Now, here's the thing. I don't know how I feel about the song. Oddly enough, it's just like
How you feel?
I don't know. Like I listened to it and I was just like, Tamar, I don't know how I feel. I didn't. I get how you feel, Tamar, in this song, but Shanique don't know how she feels when she listens to the song. I don't know if I like it. I know I don't hate it, but I don't know if I like it either. It's weird. I thought again. I agree with you. Vocals on point, smooth singing, but I thought it was a weird position after "Pick Me Up."
Yeah.
So it was kind of like I wasn't prepared for the transition. So when I went from pick me up to how I feel, and I'm like, what?
Right.
How do you feel? Because I don't know. I'm confused. It
Right.
left me confused. I didn't really think it was anything special in terms of song quality in general. I just thought it was a
Hmm.
very decent song with amazing vocals, but I was just like, okay. I wasn't wrapped up into the song like I was in the other ones, like with Pick Me Up, My Man, and Blind, which oddly
Yeah.
enough, my top three came right after each other. But,
Oh wow.
um,
Yeah, I realized that.
yeah. And in the order, too. That's crazy.
Neat.
But, yeah, I wasn't drawn into the song as I could be, but it's still a good song. I'm not gonna say it's not. It's just it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. What do you
Hmm.
think of how I feel?
I do agree with the fact that it did have kind of weird placement on the album. Like, and it's weird because I know how I feel about the song, and it's just alright. Because at this point, outside the vocals, like I said, is at this point that I realized that I know your voice sound good, but now I just need everything to come together and sound good. Maybe even something new at this point. 'Cause I was good with the poppiness of Pick Me Up, and I was good with the reggae influence of Run Run and the hip hop, a little bit of wavy here and there on Hold Up. At this point, it's not like I'm saying I didn't want any more R&B, but it's like I wanted something a little bit different. 'Cause I already had like other really 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 good picks for your voice, and even though her voice did sound good in this one, it's like I just wanted to hear something else to let me say that this album offered something for everybody. Just one of them things, and I know we're not there yet, but I kind of felt the same way about Empty Boxes later the last song on this album as well, which is about to hit in a second.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say. And like we get into Empty Boxes, I wouldn't have ended the album on this song. To be honest, oddly enough, How I Feel would have been the perfect song to end the album on, in my opinion. But since we have Empty Boxes again, amazing vocals, but the song is boring. Like I can't. How
Yeah.
I Feel wasn't boring, but Empty Boxes was hella boring to me. Like it's okay, like but I can't. I don't know. I'm trying so hard to not like talk shit, but but I I wanted a different song to end up on. Like I don't mind you showcasing those vocals and all that stuff, but it was a little bit too boring for me, and I
Mm.
wouldn't have ended the album with it. That's just
I
my opinion. People
I
could disagree.
I I honestly feel that. I honestly feel that. It's not even like so much I was bored, but it's like I have like a similar opinion on this song that I did for the last one. I was like, offer me a little something new, like flip it on its head for a little. Like you only have 11 songs here, so like play with the amount of songs that you got a little bit, cause and it's really just like it's not necessarily like a really big complaint for the album itself, cause me, I'm big on intros, but this and I'm also big on outros, and this outro was just like met to me, cause
Yeah,
it's more like it was like a battle of attrition to you know get through the rest of the album because I was just getting used to it. Like everything started to sound like, okay, you got a good voice. I just wanted, something a little outside of that realm, But it's alright though. If there's anything I want to complain about, this is something that I don't feel bad about complaining about. So I'm cool with that.
yeah, I agree. So I guess we can give our closing remarks. Overall, I think this album you should buy it. I think if you're a fan of classic R&B or any type of real R&B, you're gonna love her
Hmm.
album. None of this like fake R&B Ty Dolla Sign shit, which he's on the Craze album, and I got some issues with it. But that's a future podcast. I already like have my complaint. But if you like real R&B and real singing, you're gonna love this album. If you're not a fan of ballads, maybe you'll have some issues. But I personally love artists who showcase their voice. This is why I love Rag and Bone Man, and it's why I love Tamar's album. Very good examples of actual vocal talent. No autotune, none of that shit. real singing. And so I definitely say check out the album Bluebird of Happiness. What about you?
Yep. I'm kind of in the same boat with you right there. I have no real problem with it outside of the flip floppiness of Hold Up. Like there's no reason for God, in my opinion. I know people out there probably like Gotti, but I don't really see Gotti playing a good role in this. And I do say give this album a listen because, like, I didn't even realize Tamar until you told me. I didn't realize Tamar was even still making music like that. 'Cause I'm pretty sure last I heard there was some kind of scuffle with the show she was on, and I was like, oh, this is a nice, refreshing little album to go through. So, just in case no one's familiar with her, it's a good name to be familiar with. She's a good singer, very, very good, and at that, and very good R&B album. I haven't gone through too many R&B albums as of late outside of this podcast, but I feel like this is another good one you want to expose yourself to, though.
Okay, have a question for you.
Hmm.
Who sings better, her sister Toni Braxton or her?
Oh boy. See, I don't know enough about Tony's to give that an honest opinion. 'Cause, like, right now, I'm still leaning towards Tony. 'Cause, but I only know like a handful of songs by her though, so I
Okay,
can't really give a completely honest opinion on that. But
it's kind of weird because part of me wants to say Tamar, but Toni has better songs. So it's like, I don't know which way to go. But if they're both amazing, and check out both. I think Toni won a Grammy for an album she did with Babyface not too long ago. So check that out too. I don't know what it's called, but you can find it on Spotify. And but Tamar is probably really underrated, and I heard this is her last album. So guys, support it, support it.
oh, interesting.
She said she might retire. We'll see, cause she might be like Jay Z, My last album, then 444 comes out. My last album, Blueprint 3. He American Gangster. She might be one of those people, or she might be legit retiring off her fourth album, I believe. So you know, check it out. This might be the last full album you hear from Tamar. You never know. But I think she's very underrated, and you guys should hear more of her music.
Hmm.
So, Um, guys, let us know what you think. Were we too generous? Were we overhyping? Martians, don't attack us. Did you agree with our opinion?
Are
Um,
y'all really called Tay Martians? All right, you know what? It's not my fight.
no, they are. They're called Martians. I might be saying your name wrong, but I know it has Martian in it.
Okay, that's fascinating to me.
I mean, just like what the Barbs for Nicki Minaj and the Navy for Rihanna. You know, everyone got their fandoms. The Beehive for Beyonce. She has the Tay Martians.
You see, I must be living under a rock because I'm only familiar with the Beehive, but you know what? That's neither here nor there.
Okay. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think on either Twitter at Echo U Podcast. Tweet us, let us know what you think. We could take constructive criticism. You could tell us we're wrong. It's okay. We'll be alright. You can also send us emails at echoundergroundpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on multiple podcasting apps and websites at Echo Underground Podcast. We're on Tumblr at Echo Underground Podcast. We're also on Facebook, same name. We're on SoundCloud as the same name, and all those places you can leave comments. So let us know what we think. What you guys think. We want to hear from you, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
See ya.